All right, guys, I think we are back. We're having some technical issues that Jon is on. So Scissors was just talking about how it's like to come up against Highlander. They know that Formello's on sniper. He's saying how much he enjoys coming up against such a good sniper. Hildreth, I was just saying at the start, saying that odds for the game against Highlander, against Chess Club, started to even out in your favor once people had seen Sprayer and Zebasai joining the roster. I was just going to say, is your roster complete now? Do you have a first nine set up?
Not exactly, no. There was actually an interview on ETF2L which the interviewer, Prof, got most of the updated information about it. Zebasai's joined to back up for the team if we need him on like whatever class he wants to play. He doesn't want to play, well, he can't really play against Chess though because of the playoffs, and Zoob can't play because of the grand finals in sixes. So we need a soldier merc for the chess game. But I suppose we could talk about that a bit later. But our roster at the moment is very similar to what it was last season. The one big change is Kisakala's gone from his medic of the season winning role. Medic of the season, I can't believe that. To scout, and Steve is actually going to stay on Pyro. We've still got to have Zoob on Soldier, me still on Demo Man. Pilox left the team, and then we played with him a little bit, but we decided between us it's not the right fit for the team, so we're still looking for a heavy. Engineer is still going to be Nigel. Medic, we picked up Sprayer. There wasn't really any other medics going around. Sprayer was definitely the best choice to get in. Well, there was a choice of trying to persuade the Bulo Meister, but I thought it would be a bit too extreme for whoever we pick up on heavy to have Bulo as the medic and me in the demo, so I thought we would just leave that. And Sniper's Problems said to me he wants to come back to snipe, so he's going to snipe Granges or Spy, so team's pretty much the same, got a few different backups lined up. And for heavy, considering bringing my good friend Polkin from Hawaii, if he's going to wake up at 6 AM every morning to play TF2.
Polk was one of the kind of established as kind of the best heavy in NA for some time. So, I mean, how active has he been over the previous seasons?
Polky hasn't played for a few seasons in UGC Platinum, so he hasn't been particularly active, but he does have ridiculous hours on heavy, so it's like riding a bike, you don't forget how to heavy. So even with 200 ping, he'll still be very consistent. I think he'll probably struggle to put the sort of stats that Breakfast Junior's putting down, but he'll.
It's only because he gets so many heals.
Well, that's not really that. Polk's played in so many teams where he's played in teams where he's been the focus. He's played in teams where he hasn't been the focus. He'd play any role. So as long as he can just play off the team, that's the main thing. But if Polk can't commit, then we'll probably have to try a few other players. We'll see.
One thing I was going to ask you is talking about Highlander as a team. You know, last season you guys did I don't know, poorly compared to your expectations. Perhaps you were expected to kind of go on and at least reach the final. You won in season 6, and then obviously you had a disappointment season last season. Like, how do you see this season going? Because there's some, you could say, comparisons between Killswitch winning in season 5, following season expected to do fairly well, and then kind of losing out in the playoffs early on, and then the following season just falling apart after they tried to rebuild their roster and change it. Do you guys do you still have the commitment, the kind of determination to see the season out and go all the way?
I think people in this team do. Losing last season was probably very big for us because we had a long period of the season where we weren't practicing with our roster. We had to play every game with a merc. It kind of affects the team a lot. So we went from feeling invincible to starting to lose, and that's what happened. So if we didn't lose, we probably wouldn't be as motivated. But people don't want to have their last season of TF2 as a defeat. They would want to go out in the blaze of glory. So I think people are pretty committed. There's obviously real life factors coming into it, but people still want to win and play together. And having Problem back and Sniper's a big boost for us.
Everyone else, how do you guys see Highlander this season? Do you see them as stronger? Do you think they're going to come back with a vengeance?
I think it's a bit.
For sure.
I think it's a bit early to say when they haven't really played with this new roster yet. But you know, their core players are so good that surely they're gonna be in at least the top 3, and I think they're gonna be in the top 2 as well, but not in the top 1.
Premtech gonna take it this season, is that what you're saying?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nah. I'm confident.
Right, guys, we can move on to Qnai then for her time in the spotlight to talk about Fair Enough. Qnai, tell us about your roster. So many people join on your roster, and I know a friend of mine has joined recently. So tell me, what's your expected lineup for your first game?
Well, basically the same lineup we played last season, CeeJaey on Medic, and everyone else all the same, like Heartson, Soldier, and Bloodtrunk Sniper. But Wingo left the roster just before our season ended, so now we're having Autonomous as a new player in Scout, and basically everyone else are still staying, hopefully. We don't have that many subs, so if someone leaves, we're kinda gonna be in troubles, but our players are pretty dedicated. So it's all good, hopefully. And yeah, nothing new really. Thomas, and maybe people think that Jake is still playing Medic, but he quit like in half season last time.
What do you guys expect for this season? Because I mean, last season you were quite competitive, and the race for the playoffs was pretty tight. Are you aiming for the playoffs? Do you really think you can like mix it in? Because I'm not sure the playoffs going to still be top 4 or top 3.
Of course, we're gonna aim for the playoffs. We haven't practiced that much because people are still finishing their 6s, but I think we're gonna try hard. Like next when the 6s are over next week, maybe, and we're gonna super try hard, and of course we're gonna aim for the playoffs, and hopefully we reach there. What's up with these hats? Oh god. Oh man.
Well, you're wearing a hat.
Hats are the best.
I'm not wearing a hat. I forgot to bring my hat.
Guys, like, how do you see Fair Enough? Because for me, kind of the end of the season last season was a little bit weird with teams like Killswitch and Voodoo giving away default wins, you know, where maybe the odd points here and there could have gone. Kaltu is telling me only top 3 go to the playoffs. So only the top 3 teams will play playoffs. The playoffs are really close, and maybe the odd points could have, you know, swung in favor of different directions last season. Do you see Fair Enough competing for the top 3? Do you think it's going to be close?
Well, maybe not top, of course, because there is Chess Club and Highlander, but I'm pretty sure that we're gonna give a good fight of the 3rd place. If like magic happens, maybe the 2nd, but I'm having a high hopes for 3rd place.
Hildreth and Scissors and Maito, seeing as you guys were top 3 last season, do you think Fair Enough have what it's in them to unseat one of you guys for the top 3?
Nah, it's not gonna work out. But top 4.
They'll at least need to change the way they play if they want any hopes of doing that, to be honest. Like, yeah, like they have good players, but I just don't rate the way they play very highly. And it's definitely not gonna happen unless they do something about that.
Oh, I don't know really. It's a lot. I think a lot rides on the Beggar's Bazooka with Hearts on that team. I'm getting distracted by CeeJaey on the camera.
CeeJay's doing a good job with that.
I'm not doing anything.
Are
Keep
you bored,
talking,
CeeJaey? Are you
I'm
bored?
not. I'm listening intently.
Yeah, a lot rides are fair enough having Hearts on the form with the Beggar's Bazooka, because he is the master of the weapon since Mookie's emoed away. I think that's probably the main thing in the team. Good players on the team. Probably got a long way to go in terms of practicing, but it could step it up later in the season. It's a long season. So yes,
But like Maito said, at least 4th place, but we're gonna put up a fight for the 3rd place. We're just gonna start practicing, hopefully change something in our team play, like Caesar said. That is one of our major problems, but that is something we can fix. Hopefully, most likely.
He's been waiting patiently, so I'm gonna head straight over to Yak. Yak, to tell us about your roster. How does it feel to be a Prem player? Talk to me.
It feels no different from before. But we've got from last season we've kept me, Yoza, Steven, and Byrne, and Condog, and then the rest is all we've changed people up, and we've got 3 scouts in the form of Ast, Hank, and Gandhi. They're all complete beasts, like all really, really good, incredible aim. And then we got Sandvich on heavy, he's really, really good. And Shep on medic, who's really good. And Joe T on spy, who's also really good. And we just picked up Love Clop.
Was that serious?
Yeah, he's multi-class subbing.
Yes, Kaltu can confirm. Love Clop added to Yak's team 3 minutes ago. So everybody in the chat who is not a Prem player, Love Clop is officially better than you. How do you guys see this season working out for you? Because teams, for example, Voodoo last season, they did similarly to kind of the experience to you guys have got. They finished second in Div 2 the season before and went to Prem, and it didn't work out very well for them. Do you guys, is survival like your main aim, or do you really think you have a chance for like top half of the table?
I think 5th is very achievable, and maybe 4th.
That's confidence right there. I mean, any of the guys, rest of the guys here, the experienced long-term Prem players, have you guys scrimmed against? I keep wanting to call you guys high banter because loads of money. Have you guys scrimmed against them? Like, how are they shaping up? Do you think?
Against who? What?
I'm
Sorry.
talking about the other guys. How coming up against Yak and his team?
We scrimmed Unpoppable a few times and we rolled them. We've scrimmed Chess Club, and that was, well, they beat us. I guess Scissors could say how convincingly it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we won.
Yeah, but that was quite fun. That was our first top Prem team we played against.
It was hilarious in the last point.
Yeah, it was just, we can't push last, fuck that point. I think, like, when it comes to 5CP and KOF, we can take points off the top teams. Like, even maybe Chess Club, High Panda, not sure, but our payload needs a lot of work.
Well, it's nice to play against sort of like 3 new teams that you've never played against before. I do like that, because you got to look at teams like Premtech were pretty, even teams like Chess Club, who are just sort of Div 1 now, a season, and in their first season they're straight up into the bronze, into the podium, top 3 finish. I don't think it's as likely to happen this day and age, though. I haven't seen any of loads of Eamon, so I can't comment on how good they are. But when we get to the 2 Russians teams, we'll see. Are you seriously pick up Love Clock?
Yeah, he's multi-class sub.
Are you sure that's not a troll?
No, he is.
Every time you say that, you cannot keep a straight face.
Yeah, because Steven was telling me, like...
I'm not gonna lie. I played some senses. He's one of the worst players I've ever played against.
We're ready for checking for spies constantly. It's, yeah. But please, don't trash talk him. It's, like, not nice to trash talk my players.
I'm sure
Apologies, that's not what this stream is for, Hildreth, so shame on you, shame on you.
But you can trash talk Condog, because he's a waste man.
Right, okay, I'll keep that in mind.
We've gone over the teams for the team leaders that are here, so we can talk about the people who are absent tonight. We'll start off with Stacked as the team, I suppose, that has been in Prem before. They're not a newcomer, and I don't know, we could be here all night talking about them. They've changed their roster very much again. It's looking a lot like the French national team. It's just kind of lots of new players playing in different positions. I think Beep was supposed to play Soldier at one point. I believe he's back.
Joke, dude.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, so there's all sorts going on. So does anyone have anything want to start off talking about stacked?
Wait, that was
I
a
heard
joke?
that Peep is a soldier main now. What happened to their? Who's gonna be their pyro then? Like Peep has always played pyro.
Apparently it was a joke. I'm on the roster and it's like Degon is a soldier. I just want to say, why isn't Beep here tonight? Why have we got this 12-year-old kid Yak trolling us with troll rosters? Where's Beep? I want to hear from Beep, man.
Need some more beep.
John told me there wasn't enough space to have more than the amount of cameras on here, which is
but-
funny, seeing as yours isn't on, Hildreth.
Guys,
So-
John told me not to rejoin because he apparently fixed everything. So he said if you try and rejoin, he's going to be upset, and I don't want to upset John.
I'll just shoot down what it says on their profile. We've got Walters and Nico, so I'm guessing they're doing a 50-50 share on Scout. Dagon on Soldier, Beep on Pyro, Demoman is Exxon and Hidan. So again, maybe a sharing job there. Susie on Heavy, Mister on Engineer, Asa on Medic, Drozo on Sniper, and Hard on Spy. So looking compared to what they had last season, I think Beep on Pyro, Susie Heavy, Mister, did he play Engineer or was it Musa? I can't really remember. And then you've got kind of Medic and Spy the same. So Sniper, Demo Man, Soldier, Scout all changed. It's very French, very French. Lots of French players have joined the roster, and I think the Danish players have left. Guys, like, do you see them as playoff challenges next season?
No.
Okay, Yak. Yak's got a lot of strong opinions.
We're gonna beat them on Sunday.
Okay.
Just watch.
Oh, so Sunday is the first match for both Stacked and loads of money, and Yak's feeling confident. Okay, why do you think you're going to beat them? Is it just looking at the roster, or have you had experience in scrims against them?
Never scrimmed them, but I think he will be alright.
I like this confidence, CeeJaey. It's pretty good. It's just what you need when you're new to Prem.
He's steely faced when he's saying it as well. It's like he's determined, right? Okay, maybe that game will get casted. We'll have to get John on the case to see if Yak's confidence shines through. Everyone else, I mean, you guys have been in Prem before. You played Stacked the past 2 seasons. Do you see this roster as being better? Have you guys scrimmed them at all? Do
I
they seem
haven't.
stronger, Awita? Do you think they can get playoffs?
Oh,
Oh, guys,
sorry,
guys.
go on. Alright, okay, just because you said you hadn't played them while we have been playing them a lot lately. And so far we are beating them, but I do actually think that they have some really good players. I think that both Nico, Deegan, and the 2 Demomen are actually really good at Highlander, and I feel like if Beep can make sure that they keep playing and stuff, I think they can be a really good team actually. It's really up to that. The players are good, so as long as they keep the interest, and they keep playing consistently, I think they can maybe even contest the top 3. So I definitely think it's a promising roster they have.
Yeah, I think looking at that team, it does look sort of like a second generation Daratutu. If you look at Exxon, Hidan on Demoman, Degon's moving on Soldier. So, they do have a lot of talented players on that team. Hard is going to be difficult to play against. Nobody cringe there. There's good players on the team. They just need to start playing like a team. I think that's going to be their biggest problem. Last time I saw Exxon playing in season 5 for DA, he had a pretty distinct style of sort of wandering around doing his own thing, which didn't really work for DA. So I'm not sure how the combo is going to work out with very inexperienced players, Asa and Medic. Susie's into I'm going to say his second season, so it'll be very interesting. But I think their flank looks really strong. I think Drozo's a very warm cold player, and Hard's going to be a beast. So I don't know. I think they'll be a difficult team to play against if they start to figure out how to play with each other. But their combo is probably the biggest weakness I can see.
Hard's gonna make his dead ring and make no noise.
That's a
Nothing new
reference.
there then.
I
But
did
actually,
wonder how long. Sorry,
can I comment on that? Because I actually don't agree with that. If you ask Breakfast, who is the expert, Susie is actually a very strong heavy, you know. At the moment, I'd say that he or she or whatever it is probably the second best. Like I don't feel like their combo is weak. If they can play like with the two demos, like if they pick one of them and play with him, like for the majority of the games, I feel like they can have a strong combo as well. And Essa is a really good medic, honestly. So I mean, I don't see why the combo would be their weakness, to be honest. I think their only like weakness right now is probably their sniper, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. When it depends really how Exxon plays on the demo man. Because when he played for DA, he was kind of just wandering around. Doing
Is it
their
confirmed whether they will use him or Hidando? Because I think that he has been playing really well. He abuses the fuck out of the lock and load, and it's really annoying. It's really raping us.
Hidden will be probably pretty good because he's very more classic style demo man. He'll take a lot of heals. I have to see because I don't really know what their combo is going to do. That's the thing about it. That's what I can say really, because they could get outplayed, outsmarted by the combos. I mean, even if they do have such a strong flank potential and sniper and spy potential, if your combo isn't on form, then you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I did wonder how long like it would take before people started, you know, making the comparisons there too, with some of those players coming back. Are you ready for the Russians? Should we move on to the Russians now?
Oh, ready for some Ruskies.
Ready for some Ruskies. So we'll start off with Wasp, who won Division 1 last season. They won the tiebreaker against Dictatorship. They're a team that's been around. I think one of the few and only teams that's been around since, you know, the start of Highlander and ETF2L, really. They played together every season, and their roster's barely changed. The only kind of changes that I know of, I mean, the roster, I'm not sure. I know Clefsas plays on Medic, Crow plays on Pyro. Sinnock has come in to play Demo. Morg is Sniper. Trox is Soldier. But I know that Creative, who was going to be their Scout, has been banned, along with the wave of bans that included Quintosh. He's been banned for, from what I've heard, selling spots on his team. So selling from what people told me, he was selling spots on his team for 20 keys. So 20 keys would buy you a spot on the team, and you would get a Prem medal.
You can play main Scout for 30.
So, yeah, so he's no longer playing, so I'm guessing they're going to have to.
There's actually a rule against that.
Apparently, I mean, I can't find. Let's have a look for the ban post. There was a specific. It was I don't know. He used long words, but basically, selling spots on the team, which people have said is that actually illegal or against the rules. I don't know, but
there's nothing official about it. So
Speaking of that, by the way, did any of you guys get added by that one random Australian guy who wanted to pay 50 euros to roster right on the Prem team?
What?
I got added by like some random Australian dude who like wanted to pay like a fuck ton of money to roster right, and apparently he added.
Do you get it before or after the season finishes?
What do you mean?
You should have accepted the money and kicked him
it
away
was
before
just like
roster lock.
recently, like it was just before the creative got banned, so it was like, damn good I didn't take that.
It sounds like Cal2 on a sting operation. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, I dodged that one.
How do you guys feel like playing against Wasp? Do you know? I suppose out of the two Russian teams, they're the more well known. They finished higher last season. They were actually won Division 1, whereas Unpoppable were in Division 2. Do you think they're going to stay up? Do you think they can challenge for playoffs?
Bottom 2 is definitely going to be Wasp, Unpoppable.
I genuinely think Unpoppable are better than Wasp.
I have to like, from my personal experience, I have to disagree. Having played against both teams, Wasp kind of have that coordination. We played against when he had their sniper, just sort of tore us a new one. Whereas Unpoppable, we've like my team's in high, and we've not actually had much problems playing against Unpoppable, to the point where we weren't actually going to scrim them anymore because we weren't really learning much from the games. So I mean, I don't know whether they've changed stuff. We'll come on to Unpoppable in a minute, but I mean, Wasp just seemed like a solid team working team. They don't have players that stand out. Sinnoh seems to be using the lock and load to great effect. Does anyone else feel they're going to be bottom 2?
Nah, I think they're gonna get like 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 wins with luck. But I believe they're gonna get 3 wins.
Who are they
Because-
going to beat other than each other? Loads of
don't know yet.
money, do you think?
But I think their roster is like they've been there for long. Some of the players and their organization is PCVing pretty fucking many times. So I think they're gonna take 2 or 3 matches.
They
Well,
have
we
not
bet-
really.
I mean, they
Not really
played
gonna.
UGC, didn't they?
They're not really
We
gonna
played
get
against.
close to play.
Oh, sorry, man.
Just continue.
We played against Unpoppable with. Yeah, it was definitely Unpoppable we played against in UGC last week, but it was Aswell. So they lost to our UGC team, but it's still Aswell. So, you know, I don't want to make any conclusions, but hopefully they. I mean, like, Unpoppable is the first team we're playing against. Hopefully they show a better performance there than in Aswell.
I suppose we can move on to Unpoppable as well, seeing as this seem to come as a pair. Unpoppable winning the Prem playoff. They beat was it Ice Clique, I think was their name, which seemed much to me like a Suki Doing Work remake. A lot of the same players who were on the team from a few seasons ago, and I don't know, the players that stand out for me on that game were obviously Shadowburn, who joined for that game and has rejoined Premtech now, and they also have MSH as a scout, and the 2 of them just did so much work in that game. Do you guys see them now that Shadowburn's gone? Do you see them still competing as much? I mean, as a reference, they're playing in UGC Plat this season against essentially a lot of mixed teams, and I think they finished 3-5, so they didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, it kind of says a lot, really. They're better teams in high than they are. So the only reason they're there is because they wanted to be there, if that makes sense. They did manage to win 1 playoff game, yeah, fair enough, but the playoffs themselves this season were a bit silly. They just had 4 teams and drew them randomly. I mean, if Unpoppable had drawn someone else, the other guys that lost, I don't know who they were, then and the team could have been in Prem. So, I mean, there are definitely better teams in high. People were talking about that Dosh team with Fungi on demo, and there's obviously bigger stickers with Emilio, Evil, there's a lot of good players in that team. I see Unpoppable either going to come 8th or 7th. Frostburg going to either come 7th or 8th. That's from what I've seen anyway. It's not as if they're all horrible players or bad players. They've been together a long time, but they're just not good enough, really. Yeah.
Yes, anyone? I'm just waiting for someone to come in with maybe even one positive comment about either of the Russian teams. There's any shred of hope for them.
PCW them. When I arranged PCWs with them, they seem really nice. So that's what I got going for them. They're really nice guys.
I have not talked with any of them whatsoever. I haven't.
They
not
always
had anything
send
to
smiley
do, so.
faces. And
Do
normally
they do like
Russians-
the Russian smiley faces with no eyes?
No, they just do normal smiley fases.
Wow,
I
they are
like that.
adapting to the culture. Nice.
Exactly, and they've spoken to me more than Yangpai ever spoke to me. So they sent me at least 2 sentences. So it's pretty cool. I like them. They're good. Cool guys, but I don't think they're going to be very good in Prem this season.
Okay, so we've got some predictions there. A lot of people seem to think the Russians are going to finish in the bottom 2, and the usual suspects to finish in the top 3. We just move on to something that I'm sure is going to cause a lot of debate. It's unlocks, and I'm sure there's just going to be one that's going to take most of the time. Guys, unlocks, the ones that were banned, the ones that were not banned. Anyone want to pipe up and say the dreaded L word?
What, love flop? Is that the L word? we're talking about?
I genuinely don't even know what's banned and allowed. Like, I just stick a weapon on, and then if I can't use it, I'm like, okay, that's fine, and then I'll keep playing.
Should we just run through them, what's been allowed quickly if I can bring up the page. But I think the two big ones that have been allowed are the lock and load and Baker's bazooka. But just to go through the banned weapons, I could see a reserve shooter, babyface, the critical, Pretty Boy's pocket pistol, Thompson, short circuit, fighter saw, Zara bargain, Darwin's dangerous shield, Diamondback in the force, red tape recorder. Everything else allowed. That includes the Baker's bazooka and the lock and load. So what do you think now, Yak?
Oh, that lock and load's pretty dumb. Like, really dumb.
How's it done?
Because, like, you get rewarded for doing nothing extra from normal. You just sort of hit something and you do 120 damage and then you can fire it 3 times. And it's actually easier to hit than pipes.
But what about
And
downgrades?
it's the splash damage.
What about the downgrades? You know, 1 less pipe per clip, no roller explosive damage.
Well, if you're just spamming a choke with them in Highlander, you're gonna hit like 3 people with a lock and load. It's not really hard to hit direct pipes or lock and load or anything in a choke point in Highlander. To be honest.
I don't know if any of you saw, but like when the unlocks were being discussed in the beginning, I was for allowing the log and load because normally I'm for allowing pretty much anything, but even I gotta admit that it's it's really aids to play against once someone knows how to use it. For example, Hidan, or I don't remember who that other guy was, but like you can basically, because the projectiles are so fast and like the arc on the pipes are so small, you can just like do like 400 damage to a heavy in like 2 seconds, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know. I think it's a bit broken at this point.
I don't know about that control particularly. I haven't used it very much, but I've played TF2 for so long and demo for so long. I kind of got to the point where I just don't change very much. I do. I still think the thing that wins games is strategy and snipers. It can make a small difference, the weapon, if you've got players that know how to use it. But I don't think.
I mean, I think. Oh. I think Hildreth's face is frozen by the looks of it. So either he's very good
Just
at.
leave him there.
Just leave him there. Qnai. As a heavy main, playing against the lock and load and anything else, any unlocks that you feel is kind of unfair.
Well, depends if the demo man knows how to use it, but I've never experienced like any weapon OP. Actually, no lock and load, no Beggar's Bazooka, but I think Hearts is the only one who actually uses Bazooka in Prem. But yeah, I've never experienced that lock and load is OP, even though it took 2 hits heavy. But the one thing I was wondering is the sniper rifle, what is it called? Bazaar bargain?
Mm.
Is it the first time it's been banned?
Well, no, it's always had bugs like relating to non-crit servers or something where you just sort of shoot the ground or something and you accumulate heads so you get more damage quicker. I think that's why it's banned.
No one is just using it, so
Yeah,
I was wondering.
Bug. I'm fairly sure there's a bug.
It's not
Yeah, I
gonna
think
get
it
fixed.
relates to once you've got a headshot, I think then you can body shot and it still counts or something like that. Yeah, it is actually bugged, kind of the same way as the red tape recorder is. Sort of somewhat related, I guess, to things that have been banned. Sort of the map list discussion. Just quickly trying to find the map list for the season. I know the big ones are that Gullywash is out and is it Sunshine is in? And Warmtick is also in as a Koth map, and Lakeside doesn't make a return, and Reservoir is out in return. So Reservoir was the match-winning map in the grand final last season. I know Scissors says, I think I read some of that, he didn't like it, but just his team was good at it. Scissors, do you see that as your like ace up the sleeve gone for this